Hello everyone, welcome to KNO Academy YouTube channel. In this session, we are going to discuss some of the important questions on the topic chemistry. Okay, so without any delay, let's start the session. The first question is, which is the symbol of element potassium? And the options are like option A, W, option B, O, option C, Pt, and option D, K. So the symbol of the potassium is represented by K. Okay. So the correct answer is option D, K. And what are the other symbol represents the element? Can anybody tell me? Yeah. So here tungsten is a chemical element with symbol W and it has the atomic number 74. So W represents what? Tungsten. And what O represent? So everybody know it, right? So O represent the element oxygen. Okay, and it has atomic number 8. And what is Pt? So Pt is the symbol of the element platinum and it has atomic number 78. Okay. Now, next move on to the next question, that is, what is the symbol of the element bromine? And the options are like this. Option A, Br, option B, Bi, option C, B, and option D, Be. So what is the symbol of the element bromine? Yes. So the correct answer is option A, Br. Okay. So Br represent element bromine. So bromine is a chemical element with symbol Br and it has atomic number 35. So Bi is a symbol of the element bismuth. Okay. So and it has atomic number 83. And what is B? So B usually represent what? Boron. Okay. And it has atomic number as 5. And what is Be? So Be represents the element beryllium of atomic number 4. So next question. What is the symbol of the element gallium? And the options are Gm, Gi, G and Ga. So what is gallium? So the symbol of the element gallium is option D, Ga. Okay. So gallium is a chemical element and it has a symbol Ga with atomic number 31. So next question. What is the symbol of the element tungsten? So in previous question only we have seen, right? So tungsten is represented by the symbol W. Okay. So the correct answer is option D, W is the symbol of the element tungsten and it has the atomic number 74. So next question. What is the symbol of the element krypton? So options are like this: Kn, Kr, K and Ky. So what is the correct answer? So option B, Kr is the correct answer for this question. So krypton is a chemical element with symbol Kr. Okay, and it has atomic number 36. So next question. Which of the following is the lightest element in the periodic table? And the options are like titanium, uranium, plutonium and hydrogen. So usually lightest element is nothing but the element which is having a minimum, that is lowest atomic mass, is called as lightest element. So among these four, hydrogen element is having the lowest atomic value, correct? So what is the atomic number of the hydrogen element? That is 1. Okay, hence hydrogen is called as the lightest element in the periodic table. So the option D, hydrogen, is the correct answer. So hydrogen has the lowest atomic mass on the periodic table. So with only one proton and one electron per atom. Correct? So making it as the lightest element in the periodic table. So option D, hydrogen, is called as lightest element. Okay. So now let's move on to the next question. The question is, the most important ore of aluminium is. Okay. Aluminium is the element in the periodic table, right? And what are the ores of aluminium? So among these four, bauxite is considered to be as the important ore of aluminium. Okay. And what are the other ores? So here option B, calamine, is the important ore of the element zinc. Okay. And what is calcite? So calcite is the ore of the element calcium. And what is galena? So galena is the primary ore of the element lead. Okay, this is also important question. So these questions are questions can be usually asked in your exam. So be thorough with all these questions. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. Which of the following element is a polyatomic molecule? So option A, nitrogen, option B, argon, option C, chlorine, and option D, sulfur. So before going to the answer, we should know what is polyatomic molecule. Okay. If you break this polyatomic as poly plus atom, right? So combination of these two gives polyatomic. Poly means what? Many. Correct? Many means more than two or three is called as poly. That is many. Okay. So among these four, so usually nitrogen is represented as N2, correct? And argon is represented simply as Ar. And chlorine is simply represented as Cl2. And what is sulfur? So sulfur is represented like this, S8. Okay. So by looking at this, you can easily answer, right, which is polyatomic. Yeah. So the correct answer is option D. Sulfur is considered to be as polyatomic molecule. Okay. And what is N2? So here N represents what? Nitrogen, which is having two atoms. So nitrogen molecule, nitrogen is considered to be as a molecule because it is having two atoms of nitrogen. Okay. So this is called as diatomic. Okay. Nitrogen is called as diatomic because it has two atoms of nitrogen. And what is Ar? It is monoatomic. Okay. Because it is having only single atom, that is argon. Okay. It is simply is written as Ar. Okay. Not Ar2, Ar3. Because argon is having only one atom of the element Ar. Okay. Hence it is called as monoatomic. And what is Cl2? Cl2 is again called as diatomic because it is having two atoms of fluorine. So yes, 8. So here sulfur is having 8 atoms of sulfur. Hence it is called as polyatomic. Even you can see triatomic molecule. Okay. That is O3. What is O3? O3 is nothing but ozone. What is ozone? So Earth is covered by this ozone layer, correct? So ozone is represented by O3, that is 3 atoms of oxygen. And this ozone layer protects us from that is high energetic rays. Okay. So now let's see the answer. The answer is sulfur for the question polyatomic molecule. Okay. So monoatomic, the examples for monoatomic is helium, copper, silver and carbon. For diatomic, hydrogen, that is hydrogen is usually written as H2, right? And oxygen is written as O2. Nitrogen is written as N2. Hence, these elements are called as diatomic molecule. So, triatomic molecule, the example for triatomic molecule is O3. And for polyatomic, the examples are given as phosphorus and sulfur. So, phosphorus is written as P4, okay, P4, and sulfur is written as S8. Okay, more than 3 atoms of molecule is called as polyatomic molecule. So the term polyatomic is used for a molecule which contains more than 2 or 3 atoms. Okay, sulfur is called as polyatomic because each sulfur molecule is made up of 8 sulfur atoms. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Which of the following is a diatomic molecule? We have already discussed. So helium is monoatomic because it is simply written as He. Okay. So sulfur is polyatomic. It is written as S8. Argon is monoatomic, right? It is simply written as Ar. And hydrogen is written as H2, right? Hence, the answer is hydrogen is the correct answer for this question, right? So diatomic molecule, hydrogen is a diatomic molecule consisting of 2 hydrogen atoms bonded together. So other examples include oxygen, nitrogen and chlorine, that is Cl2. So next question, which gas is generally liberated when acid reacts with metal? So whenever the acid reacts with any metal, so usually the gas which is liberated is hydrogen. So hydrogen gas is usually liberated whenever acid reacts with any metal. Okay. So the correct answer is option D, hydrogen is the correct answer for this question. So when an acid reacts with a metal, hydrogen gas is typically liberated. Okay. So next question. Electrolysis of water produces hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio. So what is the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen during the process of electrolysis of water? And the options are like 2:1, option B 3:1, option C 1:3 and option D 1:2. So before going to the answer, we should know what is electrolysis of water. So electrolysis of water is nothing but breaking down of water, that is water is usually represented by what? H2O. Okay, so breaking down of water into hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, by using what? Electrolysis. Electrolysis is nothing but electricity. So using electricity, water molecule is breaking up into hydrogen and oxygen atoms. So this process is called as electrolysis of water. So here the ratio, what is the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen? They have asked the question as hydrogen and oxygen, not oxygen and hydrogen. Okay. So in this process, for every single oxygen atom, 2 atoms of hydrogen will be breakdown. Understood? For every single of oxygen, for every single oxygen, 2 hydrogen atoms will be breaking down. So if you look into this symbol, that is H2O, so 1 atom of oxygen is breaking up into 2 hydrogen atoms. So here what is the ratio? Hydrogen and oxygen question is asked, right? So ratio of hydrogen and oxygen, not oxygen and hydrogen. So here hydrogen means how many? 2, right? 2 hydrogen atoms. For every single, that is one. Here one hydrogen atom is present, right, in H2O molecule. Hence, for every single, that is one oxygen, two hydrogen gas will be, that is atoms will be liberated. So the correct answer is option A. 2:1 is the correct answer for this question. Okay. So electrolysis of water is the decomposition. Decomposition is nothing but breaking. Breaking of water, that is H2O, into oxygen and hydrogen gas using electricity. Correct? So here the ratio that is asked by hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen is 2. In this symbol only you can easily answer, right, by looking at the symbol. 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. So hydrogen first, oxygen second. Hydrogen is 2. Oxygen here 1 atom, right? 2:1. So for every molecule oxygen produced, 2 molecules of hydrogen are produced. For every molecule of oxygen, 2 molecule of hydrogen is produced. So the option A is the correct answer. That is 2:1. So next question. A solution is a dash mixture of 2 or more substances. So here options are given as heterogeneous, homogeneous, colloid and uneven. So the correct answer is homogeneous. Okay. So what do you mean by homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture? So here homogeneous mixture is nothing but a solution is a homogeneous mixture of 2 or more substances where one substance is dissolved in another. That is, solute is dissolved in the solvent. For example, if you consider salt water, so this is salt water. If you see this mixture, salt water is the combination of salt and water, right? Here in salt water, solute is the salt and solvent is water. Okay. So if you look into this mixture, you cannot able to distinguish which is salt and which is water. Correct? This type of solution, that is mixture, is called as homogeneous mixture. So we cannot able to differentiate the two substances, that is salt and water. Such type of mixture is called as homogeneous mixture. And what is heterogeneous? In heterogeneous mixture, we can able to differentiate the solute and solvent. For example, sand water. So here sand is collected below in this glass of water, right? We can able to differentiate sand and water separately. So this is called as heterogeneous mixture. And what do you mean by colloid? See, in homogeneous mixture, the atoms are uniformly arranged. Okay. Here also in heterogeneous mixture, atoms also uniformly arranged, but in polar, so atoms are not uniformly arranged. Okay, so such type of mixture is called as colloid. Example for colloid is milk, curd, smoke, etc. and also gel. Understood? So a solution is a homogeneous mixture of 2 or more substances. It is called a solution. So in solution, solute is completely dissolved in the solvent. Understood? So next question. Who among the following discovered neutrons? So neutrons are discovered by the person J. Chadwick, that is John Chadwick. So the correct answer is option A. J. Chadwick is the correct answer. And what are these people discovered? So option B, Dalton. So John Dalton discovered atom. And the option C, Rutherford. So Rutherford discovered protons. in an atom. Okay, and J.J. Thomson discovered electron. Understood? So next question. An element having same atomic number and different mass number is called. So the correct answer is option A, isotopes. Okay, so isotope is nothing but isotopes which are having same atomic number and different mass number is called as isotopes. And what are the other? So isomers usually represents which is having the same molecular formula but having different structural arrangement of atoms is called as isomers. Same molecular formula but different structural arrangement. Okay, so it is called as isomers. And what is isobars? So isobars are the complementary to isotopes. Okay, here in isotopes, same atomic number, different mass number, but in isobars, different atomic number and same mass number, right? So different atomic numbers and same mass number is called as isobars. And what is isotones? Isotones are the molecule which is having different atomic numbers and different mass numbers. So these are called as isotones. Understood? So next question. Who discovered X-rays? So X-rays are discovered by the person William Conrad Rontgen. So option A is the correct answer. So William Conrad Rontgen discovered X-rays in the year 1895. And Paul Willard discovered gamma rays. Okay, so gamma rays are discovered by the person Paul Willard in the year 1900. And John Ritter discovered UV rays in the year 1801. And Newton discovered what everybody know it, right? So universal law of gravitation. So universal law of gravitation is discovered by the person Newton. So next question. In which of the following options is a substance incorrectly paired with the acid present in that substance? And the options are like this. Option A, orange, citric acid. Option B, lemon, lactic acid. Option C, tomato, oxalic acid. And option D, vinegar, acetic acid. So here the incorrectly pair is the option B, lemon, lactic acid. So this is the incorrectly paired, right? So orange, citric acid, it is correct pair. Tomato, oxalic acid, it is also correct pair. Vinegar, acetic acid, it is also correct pair. And the wrong pair is lemon, lactic acid. This is wrong pair. So lemon, lactic acid is wrong pair because lemon is having citric acid. Okay. So lactic acid is found in milk. Understood? So apple contain malic acid and tamarind contain tartaric acid. So this is additional information. So next question. Which of the following chemical is responsible for the yellow color in urine? And the options are urobilin, option B, albumin, option C, bilirubin, and option D, creatinine. So the correct answer is option A, urobilin is the correct answer for this question. So for urine color, the responsible compound is urobilin. It is a pigment produced during the breakdown of hemoglobin, so which is responsible for the yellow color of urine. Okay, so urobilin is the primary pigment contributing to urine's yellow color. So the next question is, what is the pH value of your water? So options are 7, 8, 6, 5. So the correct answer is option A, 7 is the pH value of pure water. So if you look into this pH scale, so 7, it is considered to be as a neutral value in the pH scale reading. Okay. So between 0 to 6, okay. So 0 to 6 is considered to be as acidic, and between 8 to 14 is considered to be as alkaline. So alkaline is usually termed as basic. Okay. So basic is the another name for alkaline. So if you look into this example of pH conditions, so pH value 2 usually represents gastric juices. pH value of 4 represent rheumatic juice, and human urine usually contain pH value 5. Okay. So this is acidic in nature. Okay. So for between 0 to 6 is acidic, and between 8 to 14 is basic. Okay. So neutral value in the pH scale is 7, uh, which is the value of pure water. Okay. And pH value of human blood is 7.4. So usually human blood pH value is ranging between 7.35 and 7.45. If they ask in examination like what is the average of human blood, you have to mark 7.4 as the average value for human blood. It is the average value. The range is 7.35 and 7.45 between. Okay. The range is between 7.35 and 7.45. The average is 7.4. How do you calculate average? Add these two and divide this by 2. That is 7.35 plus 7.45 divided by 2, which gives the value 7.4. This is the average of human blood. Okay. And the pH value for hand soap is 10 and household bleach is 12. So this you should know. Next question. Which of the following is not a noble gas? And the options are hydrogen, neon, xenon and helium. So here the correct answer is option A, hydrogen is the correct answer for this question. That is, hydrogen is not belonging into noble gas. So mainly there are 6 noble gas. Okay, 6 noble gas present in the periodic table, and the noble gas list is given like helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. So mainly there are 6 noble gases, and the characteristics are like this. So noble gases are usually unreactive, okay, and they are stable electronic configuration. They are having stable electronic configuration, and they are low reactivity due to full outer energy level. So you should know the noble gases. There are 6 noble gases present in the periodic table. Okay. So the last question. What is the scientific name for baking soda? And the options are option A, sodium tricarbonate, option B, sodium carbonate, option C, sodium fluoride, and option D, sodium hydrogen carbonate. So the correct answer is sodium hydrogen carbonate. Okay. So baking soda is commonly known as bicarbonate of soda, sodium bicarbonate or sodium hydrogen carbonate. It is also sometimes referred to as cooking soda or bread soda. So if you look into the option, bicarbonate soda is not given. Sodium bicarbonate, this is also not given. Here it is simply given as sodium carbonate, not sodium bicarbonate. Okay. So this option is wrong. And sodium hydrogen carbonate, this is given, right? Hence option D is the correct answer for this question. So the symbol, what is the chemical symbol for baking soda? Sodium means Na, hydrogen means H, carbonate means CO3. So the chemical formula for baking soda is given as NaHCO3. So if you know this chemical symbol of baking soda, you can easily identify the scientific name, right? So Na represents sodium, hydrogen H represents hydrogen, and CO3 represents carbonate. Hence, sodium hydrogen carbonate is the scientific name for baking soda. Okay. I hope you like this session. So if you have any doubts, you can comment in the comment section. Okay. Thank you.